1.43 inches or 128 by 68 by 10.9 millimeters. It's also a little bit heavier than I'm used to at 5.11 ounces or 145 grams. There's 3 physical buttons on the right-hand side, a volume toggle, a power button, and a camera shutter, and 3 capacitive navigation buttons on the front. There's a micro USB port on the bottom, an audio jack on the top, and the back has a pretty sweet black matte finish. Now, this back plating is removable to change the color, or swap to one with Qi wireless charging, since the Lumia 810 has internal support for it. You can also access the SIM card, battery, and clouds part, please. Micro SD slot. Yes, that's right. Expandable memory is pretty scarce on Windows 8 phones, so that's a big plus. And it's capable of taking a 64GB card. Nice job, Nokia. Now for the screen. It's a 4.3-inch 800 by 480 WVGA clear black AMOLED display with a sweet polarized filter from Nokia that makes it easier to view in direct sunlight. It's got Gorilla Glass to resist scratches and cracks, and the screen responds to gloved fingers as well, which helps because it's always freezing in this office. Colors are bright, and the white balance seems a little off, but the viewing angles are pretty great. Next, it's what's on the inside that counts, right? In this case, it's a 1.5 GHz dual-core Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 Plus processor with an Adreno 225 GPU, 1 GB of RAM, and 8 GB built-in storage with 7 GB of free SkyDrive storage. The phone is super responsive and loads up pretty fast, but it can take a long time to boot up initially. The battery is an 1800 milliamp battery, which will last days on standby, but it only lasts me about a half a day when I was using it nonstop. It's got NFC and Bluetooth connectivity, and the mic and speakers are both decent enough. The call clarity was pretty good, and there weren't really many distortion issues that I could hear, except for when you're playing music at full blast. Now, when it comes to cameras, there's a 1.2 megapixel in the front and an 8 megapixel in the rear with a dual LED flash and 2-stage shutter button. Color in natural light shots looks great, but not super detailed, and low light pictures are a little bit blurry. Also, when first loading the camera, it's a bit laggy, and you may have missed that perfect shot by the time it's finally ready to go. Also, when you need to adjust the camera settings, the menu takes up much of the screen, so you can't really see what your adjustments look like. There are fun free Windows Phone lenses like Panorama and Smart Shoot, which aren't as good as they are on some of the other smartphone cameras out there, but they do combine background elimination, picking best face. Panorama's pretty cool, although it's a little bit shakier than I like. And the Nokia Creative Studio app has free filters. Now, when it comes to the video, while it can record 1080p, the default is 720p, so you're gonna have to change that. And the sound is clear, but the video is a bit shaky. There's really no optical image stabilization on this phone. One of the things that I found most useful on the Lumia 810 were the Drive and the Transit apps. Wherever and however you're going, the Lumia 810 has you covered with free turn-by-turn voice directions, downloadable maps for when you are driving in offline areas, really cool, and the full spectrum of bus or train or subway schedules, even when you're underground. You can even get notifications if you're speeding, which I never do. And I found the GPS in this phone to be pretty fast, so it complements the location apps like Drive and Transit pretty well. Now, a lack of apps is something Windows 8 phones in general suffer from. So you'll still be missing apps like Instagram, Pinterest, Pandora, and Spotify, but Nokia does a pretty good job with their own apps like Drive and Transit that I just mentioned. Oh, and Mix Radio is pretty cool. It's from Nokia, and it's like Pandora, but without the ads. You can download tracks for offline listening, and you can even purchase concert tickets right from there. Neat. Another app plus is that Nokia and T-Mobile apps can be uninstalled if you don't like or use them, so they don't just sit there on your phone and take up space for eternity. Software-wise, you've got Windows Phone 8 OS, which is just too much for me to cover in one video, so you can expect a whole nother episode just on that potato. Overall, the Nokia Lumia